I may not be uploading on the same day because of the oh, network problems and all that. But from time to time, as and when I have access to large bandwidth, I will upload those things. But try to be attentive and attend all the sessions so that you are not going to miss any of the sessions. Syllabus copy also I will be sharing. Uh, no issue as such. Now coming back to the syllabus. So that is about the 5 units we are talking about. And let me also make a note of what will be the syllabus for the first unit and what will be the syllabus for the second unit. Mid one, right? Mid one syllabus. Is going to be from this unit number 1 onwards. 1 completely will be there, 2 completely will be there, and in the third unit, shall we have the signals there as a part of it, shared memory network programming. I think we will have the signals, up to the signals as a part of it. So inter-process communication. Up to this, the first mid, and this is the second mid syllabus. I'm just making everything clear on the first day to see that you can be more responsible and start reading accordingly. So you are given enough time to plan and all that. So that's what I normally do it. So almost half of the syllabus is covered in the first mid and another half for the second mid. Unless like what it is, this is the plan. Most of the time we will stick to the plan, right? So as a part of it. So this is the theory part. Books and all, I will try to share even PDF books. You can also search and then get to know. But these are the textbooks prescribed. But it doesn't mean that only these books we will be following and all that. But some idea also is given. What are the units or the chapters, units in our syllabus? Which books are going to be helpful to you? That kind of stuff also is mentioned here. I have earmarked. So unit number 5 and all that is there. So Unix system programming using C++, teach on. 3 chapters are there, or 3 units. Concepts and applications, Sumitaba Das, first unit. That means all Linux commands, shell programming, all that. Introduction to network programming is Java, unit number 5. Unix network programming, Richard Stevens, units 2, 3, and 4. Mostly inter-process communication, IPCs, and all that. Reference books, there are many books that are actually mentioned. Depending upon which book is convenient to you, you can follow any book, it doesn't matter. And for the lab course also, syllabus is mentioned here. Essentially, like whatever we cover in the theory part, you need to practice and gain knowledge along that particular direction. So list of sample programs or experiments, the knowledge that you may have to gain. An indication is given. Actually, there are too many experiments or problems that are added here, but most of them are small programs. Some programs are large enough, that's true. Don't get too panicky, but start at least trying to write programs, experiment them, and all that. But naturally, this requires Linux platform. Either you can use the Linux platform available online these days. You can just, on the Google search, you can search for online Linux. You should get a terminal there, and you can start working on that. But the best thing is if you can install Linux on your laptop or something that is available, but it will be more handy to experiment and all that. It doesn't require internet and all that, all that. So whatever is convenient to you, you just start practicing along that particular direction. But better you start practicing. Without that, all these courses it is difficult to remember by heart and all that. And that exercise is a wasteful exercise, right? So you can see here there are too many experiments that are given about that. As you can see, 61 problems are actually added to this. Doesn't mean that you have to complete all of them and then submit to me and all that, but it is an indication to you the kind of knowledge that you may have to acquire, right? So that is the idea behind this particular thing. Any other questions that you have? Like as I have been asking you, if you are interactive, more interactive, you will learn more knowledge. Otherwise, like I assume as if like, okay, probably you don't require so much, and maybe you are more interested in learning online or by reading books and all that. So I will cut down the content depending upon the interaction and all that. So that is how it is. So any questions at this point of time?
No, sir.
Okay. So that is about this whole thing. And as it is, I'm using Jorin platform. Jorin is one of the Linux, what it is, variants, you can say. So many people offer Linux because it is open source. So they customize different softwares and release their own operating systems, right? So that possibility is there because the source code is available to everybody. So you can tailor all that source code and then include the relevant software that you feel as a part of the operating system that you release. So Jorin is one of the popular operating systems under the Linux, and it almost looks like Windows 95 kind of stuff. As you can see, when I just this thing, this is the appearance of the Jorin. So on the bottom you have all the icons and all that. You have the desktop there, and this JED is Zorin here. When I click on this, you get almost as if in Windows 95 kind of thing, right? So you have all those related stuff. So you can also install Zorin operating system on the internet search. You just search for Zorin, you will get. But all these things they take a lot of bandwidth, no doubt. So you may have to download and then install as a part of that. So that is one aspect of it. Now, under this particular thing, Linux operating system, as all of you should know, it is an open source operating system. So meaning that the source code is available to the public, so that if they wish to make changes to their taste, they can do all that and like release their own versions and all that particular thing. Whereas the Windows is a proprietary operating system, source code is not available to anybody. Only the product is sold. Only the Windows, you can say what it is right now. The latest one is uh, 2000 or Windows. Uh, you can say what is the latest operating system under Windows? What is the name of the Windows operating system? Any idea? Are you typing something there or are you speaking about? What is the name of the operating system? The current version of the Windows.
Windows 10, sir.
A little bit louder.
Windows 10.
Windows 10. Okay. So 10 in the sense 2010. That is what it should be, right? Okay. So Windows 10 is one of the popular operating system. Okay. So all that is there, and just somehow it is not switching to right. So this all right. So let us start then, like the Linux starting meaning that we will be learning more of many commands, Linux commands, and then use those commands to write programs and all that. Shell programming is nothing but you will be using the commands in a proper sequence in order to achieve a bigger objective. In order to achieve a bigger objective, you'll be writing many commands within a file and then ask it to run one after another to get certain bigger purpose. So that is the shell programming means. But for shell programming, you should have reasonably good knowledge on many commands that are likely to be there as a part of it. So this is the terminal, what we have. Uh, Let me open a tab here so that we will have two things, out of which one of them is a shell. The other one we will see. I'm just putting a title to this so that like this. And the other one is a what you call, let me see, screen. Screen here or script also. Okay, let me call it as a script type, script terminal. So I will be recording even all the commands so that you can get to know what it is and all that. Not only video recording, there is another way where you will get to know what it is once I actually start this. So right now here. So let me, okay. So let us start working on that particular thing. So under this is a prompt, right? As a prompt, dollar, what you are seeing is a prompt issued by a shell. Shell is interacting with us, and mostly you are taking the help of the shell to run programs and all that. So whenever you want to know what is the directory on which you are currently working, there is a command called pwd. Maybe it stands for print the working directory. And right now the working directory is slash means the root. Under the root there is a directory called home. Within that there is another directory called tsr. Right. So that is the right now what it is. If you want to create a directory, right, in this thing, first before that, let me start recording that particular thing also. Script followed by, and then the file name. File name can be the first tutorial 01. First tutorial like tutorial, and then hyphen. We will use a hyphen, and then today's date. Today's date is like 20th April. So April, or we'll say 40420. So this thing, and then dot followed by tst. I'm just recording all the commands that you will be learning as a part of this. For that, this is how it is. It is starting script started, let's say, meaning that it's going to store all the commands along with the corresponding output also. Right? So the very first thing that you want to learn is what is the directory where you are currently working, and the command for that is pwd, and the current directory is /home/tsr. So you want to create a directory so that you want to work within that. And how do you create directories in Linux? The command for that is make directory, mkdir. This is the actual command. All the command structures will be, there will be a command name and there will be arguments, right? The actual data that the command requires is supplied along with the command itself. That's why they are all called as command line arguments, right? So make dir is the command, and what is that you want to create, right? What is the directory name? That you will have to specify. For example, for this, it is a network programming class. So we'll say maybe NP. You can just simply call NP, right? To be short. You can give any number of names like this, so that it's going to create that many number of folders or directories. Directory is another nothing but a folder, right? So this is how you can actually create. But most of the commands are silent there, like it is going to create and then just simply issue another prompt. We can now know whether it is created or not by using another command called ls, right? Ls is a command to list all the files and folders in a particular directory. So when you issue ls like this, so because there are too many files and folders, so it has just run past. It has just run past. And whenever you think that it is like scrolling very quickly, so in such cases, normally we use a pipe symbol, right? So that you want to see page by page or screen by screen kind of thing. So ls, a pipe symbol, followed by you use the command called less. So that is the output of the ls, because it is going through too many screens or too many pages. So that the output of that ls is given to the less as the input. So that this less is going to display page by page, right? It doesn't scroll very quickly. So now you can see here. So the very first thing is 01 tutorial, that file is there. And then there is a file with a name as 1. 72.c is another file. A.out is a file. Like that, there are so many. It is waiting there. So we can use now the arrow keys and all that to go up and down and see what are the various things that you have and all that. So these are the various files and folders that are there in our this thing. So we have just now created NP. Whether that folder is there or not, we can get to know by just going through. It's displaying, and if you examine there, it is displaying all the files and folder in an alphabetical order. Right? It is displaying in alphabetical order so that you can easily search or read and all that. So as you can see now NP. There is a folder called NP. Just now we have created as a part of it. So it is now under the influence of the less command. Now in order to get out of that less, you have to give Q in order to quit. In fact, you can also say ls followed by NP. Then it's going to say that because there is nothing is a lsnp. Whenever you issue ls followed by a folder, it displays the files and folder within that folder. Whereas you want to know what is the whether there is a file called np or not, so you have to give ls followed by -d. So there is an option called -d option. So we use options by starting a minus symbol or hyphen, we normally call it. So when you give ls-d followed by this, now you see there, so it is displaying np. If you don't give -d, it displays the files within that. So there is another thing called capital F. Like in the sense, as a part of the options, so there is something called capital F. Observe there, like whenever you issue capital F, F stands for here file type actually. D stands for display directory only, not the directory contents. So file type means it's going to display a slash at the end of a file if it is a folder. If it is a folder, it displays a slash there. So for example, you want to see all the things that are there whose file names start with N. It is a regular expression you are using, N star, meaning that this ls will display all the files and folders starting with N, right? For example, you can see there now. So NetBeans hyphen, there is a folder called NetBeans hyphen 8.2, and the NP is another folder. These are the two things. Whereas you want to display all the files and folders starting with both M and N, then you can use square bracket begin and square bracket end. That means now you are displaying all the files that start either with M or with N. Within the square brackets, whenever you mention, it is going to match with either M or N. That is what you mean. This is a regular expression like we are using. We will come to that again. But there are simple things which you can, if you pay attention, you can easily learn. And the advantage of learning all these things is that your productivity will increase enormously, because all these things, they are providing so many features so that you can enhance your outcome, your programming outcome, or if some work is given, because when you use appropriate features, you can give the final outcome within no time. You don't have to start everything from scratch. Whatever the utilities that are required for a day-to-day thing, they are all already made available, except that you have to learn them and then start using them to come out with results very quickly. So either with M or with N, as you can see now. See now, there is a one file starting ending with star also here. So star, like whenever you issue capital F option, it displays a star at the end of the file, meaning that that file is an executable file. This myCP is an executable file which you can execute and get the results. So we have already, like as you can see, myCP.c, nothing is there. It's a normal file. We might have already compiled this, and executable compiled code is available in myCP. So that's why a star. So also colors also it is using anyhow. Green color indicating that it is executable. So file or folder is ending with a slash here. A folder is ending with a slash. Especially when you issue capital F here. Right? So that is about ls as a part of it. So ls has got many more options in fact. So which we may have to come to that particular thing later on or whatever. All right. So this is about ls. So let us create one file, like how to create files and all that by using any one editor, standard editor. You can actually use in this we have Genie is there, Genie editor. So probably I would like to, this is the welcome kind of thing. So let me save this, welcome, save as. Okay, so, but apart from that, now I would like to create a file and have some information there, right? So, for example, let me save various weekdays and all that kind of stuff. For example, so maybe Monday, Tuesday, Thursday here, Sunday, Saturday, Wednesday, So I think all the names are properly typed, no issue. Now I can just simply save it for the time being. Save as. Let me save it into network programming folder. And the name of this is basically week names, right? So we'll say week.txt. Week.txt. And then save it. We can also have another thing. Probably this is going to give you the month names. Let us say month names. Okay, let us say February, and then January. Just in some order, I'm just typing. August, and then July, June, May. All those births. September, November, December, October will expire. Only one thing is missing now, which is February. Is already January, February, March. So some names like this I'm just saving. Save as. Save it into NP. This is months. So actually typing. Month, week we have said. So here also month only, no plural. So month names. All right. So we have created files here. Now we can see, for example, ls, right? So we have just now created the files. So how to know whether they are there or not here? One way is by giving, there is something called option called long listing. So we say ls minus l followed by t also I'm using. T is against the timing and all that. Based on the time also it's going to display long listing of all of them, and then give it to a pipe so that it's going to give like a screen by screen. So I'm now giving ls minus lt. L stands for long listing, so which is going to give you all the details about the file, not only the file name, its file size, who is the owner of the file or the user of that particular thing, and several other details, permissions and all that. So as you can see now, like it is saying total 364 blocks or whatever, and then this is the actual file name or the folder. So right now you are seeing only NP there. You can combine multiple options. So you can also give capital F here, so that the file name is going to end with a slash if it is a folder, right? So you can give like this and enter. Now as you can see, NP is a folder from this particular thing. You can get to know about that. And a lot of other details. As you can see, the very first character here is a D. D means it is a directory. First character in a long listing will always talk about the file type, the type of the file. So it is a directory, and these other things, those are all the permissions. Who can read the corresponding file, who can make changes. W stands for write permission, and X stands for executable permission, whether you can execute that as a command or can you enter into the folder can you change the directory into that particular thing only when you have executable permissions, right? So these are the permissions. This particular thing is the number of links. Links we will talk about later, but how many links you have to the same file, right? You can have multiple links to the same file, aliasing and all that we use. And this is the owner name or the user name here, sir. This is the user name, and this is the group name actually. You can group the number of users under one particular group so that all those group members can share the documents and use them. So that's what here permissions also you have. For example, this RWX, this is for the owner of the file. Permissions for the owner of the file. These permissions RWX, the second list, is the permissions for the group of that particular file. Group, like whatever is the group to which this file belongs to, all those group members can perform this read, write, execute kind of thing. This last set talks about others, the rest of the users within that particular system. So whenever there is a hyphen there in the permissions, meaning that you don't have the permission related to that. Write permission is not there on this particular folder to other people other than the owner and the group. That's what you mean by. So like this, it's going to give you a long listing. So it's giving welcome.txt is there, and 01 tutorial is there, downloads is there. So like this and so on. So just now we have created actually what it is, the month and this thing, month and the related stuff. So we have given here. So there is another thing called R also, as you can see, but it is giving all the directories there and all that. Oh, anyhow, but when you remove that, this thing, LTF, straight away, it's giving 01 tutorial is there, April 20th, 9/11 and all that. Let us see whether those files are created or not, month and related stuff. What is that? Month and week. List. It's not now giving you in a sorted alphabetical order, but rather in a time wise, it is giving in its own this thing. Just pay attention to whether we have the corresponding month and week. I think we have not entered into that, right? Sorry. We stored all those files into NP, right? So now we have to change the directory into that NP. Right now, we are still in home TSR, whereas we stored our month and this thing into NP folder. So you have to now change the directory. So in order to change the directory, the corresponding command is CD followed by directory name. Directory name is NP. Now you are into NP folder. So on this, if you give ls minus LTF and all that particular thing, you are going to get, because there are only two files now, even this less and all that may not be relevant. So as you can see now, month.txt and then week.txt. So when you issue minus LTF, you are always going to see the latest one. The latest file will come to the first. The second one next and all. So the timing, as you can see here, April 20th, the file is created at 9 o'clock. 7 this thing. The second one is created at 9 o'clock 5 minutes. So that kind of stuff according to this computer time and all that. So whereas if you don't give this T, then it's going to give you in same order because it is alphabetically sorted kind of thing it's going to give you. Whereas you issue T as well as R also here, for example. So now if you see time wise, reverse the comparison. That means the old one first followed by the next one later. Right? 9.5 and then 9.7. So TR. T means latest will come first. TR means the old one will come first. That's the. So LS has got many options in fact. Just go through that by using the man command. You can issue man followed by ls. So it's going to give you a manual page. It's going to give you about how to use LS, what are the various options there, and all that kind of a stuff. You can enhance your knowledge by using that particular thing. Anyhow, now you have the files, we know that, but you want to see the contents of a file. You want to see the contents of a file. There are so many ways by which you can see, but one of the like the basic way, the trivial way of displaying the contents is by using a command called cat. Cat stands for concatenate. Actually, you can concatenate multiple files. You can display multiple files one after another. That's why it is called as cat actually. So you can give cat followed by the file name, whatever is the file that you want to display. So to display, you cannot make any changes by using the cat command. If you want to make changes to a file, you have to use an editor. Any editor you can use. Genie, like the Joe is there. There are many other editors that come along with your Linux platform, whatever. Whereas if you want to see the contents of it, best command is cat in fact. Cat followed by the file name. So when you give cat followed by week.txt, it is displaying all this, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and all that. Whereas if you want to display, for example, month related stuff, this is how you can, right? And then do this. So it is displaying all of that because it has more number of lines, so it has gone past. Whereas if you want to display both at the same time, you can also do that, right? So you can do in this particular manner. Cat, first file name, second file name. It's going to first display the first and then the second. But because the contents is so much that it's going to go past the screen. So in such cases, normally what you can do, you can always pipe it. The corresponding command, pipe, and then pipe it to a less command. So that it's going to display screen by screen. So that is also possible. So like this, Monday, Tuesday, and all that, Wednesday, Friday. So after displaying the weeks, it is starting displaying the month also. So you can just, by using the down arrow and all that, you can get to know. So whenever you reach the end of that, it's going to display end in this particular manner. So in order to get out of this less, you have to use Q. Q stands for quit. You're quitting the corresponding. Instead of using cat followed by all that, you can also use in fact less followed by straight away the file name you can get. Right? You don't have to use again a pipe and all that. You can as well say less followed by V. Then it displays the corresponding thing. Right? Week.txt, this is the actual contents. So to get out of that here. So you can also give like a month and all that, two files to the left. Now it is saying, as you can see, so file 1 of 2, the week.txt, right, is the first one. So Monday, Tuesday, and all that. This is the file 1 of 2. You have already reached the end of it. The next file to be displayed is month.txt. So when you issue a space here and all that, it is not. And then probably you'll have to use n there. No previous regular expression, it is saying. So it is saying, like, if you want to know what is the help or how to move on to the next file and all that, if you type H here, so you are under the influence of the less now, right now. So what are the commands for the less? You can actually get to know. So press return for more or Q when done, star which preceded by a number n commands. Notes and appearance indicate behavior and all that. H display this help. Q means exit from this particular thing. Control K is control K and all that. So how to move around and all that, he is actually talking about moving. Forward one line, backward one line, forward one window, backward one window, right? So you have all those related stuff. Off window, right? One half screen, full screen, right? To last column displayed, left arrow and all that. But stop when search pattern is found. You can also search for something, repaint the screen, discarding buffered, window is the screen height and all that. Searching is there, all this. There are so many related stuff. A search pattern is there, start search pattern. at first file or last file for question mark and all that he's talking about. So jumping, like go to first line in file, you can jump very fast by just simply saying in G there, go to last line, go to beginning of the file, P followed by whatever, n% into, go to the nth next tag, go to the nth previous tag, find close bracket, open bracket, right? So you have all these related stuff. Current position, go to a previously marked position. So a lot of things are there within this. You can try to mark something and then again come back to that. Means beginning of the file, dollar means end of the file. You have all those changing the files. Examine a new file, colon E followed by that. Same as colon E, whatever. Examine the nth file, colon n you'll have to give. It's not directly n, but rather colon followed by n. So nth next file from the command line. Examine the nth previous file, colon P. Examine the first or nth file from the command line. Delete the current file. All that, print current file name. So all those related stuff. Now from this, I can get out of this. Now you want to display, so you just simply colon followed by n. So it is displaying now the month as such. So it is displaying right now the month. You want to display the previous file, you can say colon followed by P. So then it is displaying the week there, right? So whenever you are under the control of the less there, there's so many options. So as youngsters, you should read and try to like actually get the full knowledge on anything that you actually study, because that will give you the power and will give you confidence to learn other things also in a similar manner, and that is how you can scale the new heights and all that. So anyhow, so whenever you want to quit from this, you have to give Q. So colon followed by n will take you to the next file, colon followed by P will take you to the previous file and all that. So cat is one command by which you can display the contents of a file. Less is another command to display the contents of a file, screen by screen, right? And you can give any number of file names there so that it's going to display all of them. And whenever you issue something wrongly there, like if a file doesn't exist, right? So you say, for example, no file, right? Or no.txt, whatever. So some such thing there as a part of it. When you give like this, no such file are directed. So it is saying, the less is reporting saying that it is unable to do that particular entity. So that kind of error messages you will always get. You have another interesting command called NL, number the lines. So when you give NL followed by week.txt, as you can see there now, it is displaying the same text, the same contents along with the line numbers. So it is also giving the line number 1, Monday, line number 2, Tuesday, and so on. But remember, all these commands, they are not making changes to the files. They are only reporting according to your interest. So whenever you want to display the contents of a file with the line number, you use the command NL, number the line, NL stands for. So NL is going to display all of them. So and this is how it is actually helping. There is another command called more also, in fact. So by just giving more is the command that is there right from Unix days, but less is specific to the Linux this thing. So when you give week followed by this and then month like this, 2 file names, it's going to display interestingly, as you can see there, right? So initially it is displaying all in colons followed by, so it is displaying first the file name. It's very interesting, in fact. It's a good command also sometimes compared to the less. Whenever you want to, see the contents of many files, one after another, you can use more. So it is displaying the file name there within the output also, and then displaying Monday, Tuesday, Saturday, and all that. So once everything is over, next file is month.txt, it is reporting. So when you give another space there, so it's taking you to the next file, month.txt, February and all that. The only trouble with the more is that you cannot go back and kind of stuff. Back and forth is more flexible in the less command as a part. So NL is there as a part of that. There is another command called sort, right? When you give sort followed by, for example, week.txt, right? You can see there like it's going to display in this particular manner. So it is displaying like this: first Friday, and then Monday, Saturday, Sunday, Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It is in alphabetical order. It is sorting all of that. Whereas if you display the contents in a normal manner, probably, like by using NL, maybe, like it doesn't matter. So actually you are saying Monday, Tuesday, the last one is Friday. The last one is Friday. Whereas when you sort it, so you are actually saying all of that. Right? It's not sorting the actual file. File contents is still the same. Only the output is displayed in a sorted manner. If you want to sort this in a reverse order, you can also give by using the options and all that. Like the options can be given by using the hyphen. So there is an option for the sort command called -R. -R means reverse the comparison, reverse the sense of comparison. By default, like in the alphabetical order, ascending order. But if you want to display it in descending order, right, the same thing. Now it's going to display first the highest one, Wednesday, starting with W, and then Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, and all that. Right? So you can also sort probably your months also, like whatever that you would like to. Then it's going to display months related stuff in the reverse listing. That's why April goes to the last. And then the other things are there in the beginning and all that. But you can also, in fact, sort is a lot more powerful. You can learn that by using man followed by sort, so that it can sort these things. It can understand that these are the names of the months, these are the names of the what you call weeks, and accordingly do all that and so on. For example, when you issue man followed by sort like this, we can see there like there must be an option there by which you can sort based on you can assume the corresponding data is not normal text, but it is actually what you call months and all that particular thing. Minus sort according to word. General numeric is G, human numeric is H, month is M, numeric is N, random R, version V. Let us see here whether this is going to be of some use. Sort is equal to followed by the word. Probably by capital M. Let us see what it is going to do it. Let me just refer to this particular thing. So when you sort it, it's actually displaying in this particular manner. Whereas when you sort it by using followed by, let us say, minus followed by capital M. Let us actually use a pipe symbol so that what it is doing. See now, see it is actually displaying January, February, March, April, May, June, and all that particular thing. So when you use sort -M, you are telling the sort that the data what you are about to sort is a month name, months and all that. So don't sort by using normal alphabetical ordering, but rather treat them as this thing. So there's so many options and so many features available in various software, which will help you not to write programs every time, but you can start using them to achieve the actual results or whatever. Similarly, for week also, whether you have anything of that particular nature, we don't know. Like, so we'll have to look into that particular thing and then see whether anything is going to do that. So as it is, it doesn't understand anything there as a part of that. But for week, by any chance, do you have anything like it's not displaying anything at all? So when you give it minus W, it doesn't understand what this W stands for is, right? So, but for months you have, I think for weeks also there must be an option for that particular thing. You can just get to just go through the man followed by a sort. It should help you. We will cover that later on also. So essentially here, this is what it is actually doing. If you want to display the contents of the same file 2 times, you can always give, right? No issue. So for example, like this, and again like this, 2 times. So then what it is going to do that, it displays the same contents once, and again so for the second time also. Friday, Monday, Tuesday, and so on. So and again it is starting with another Friday. So Friday is the ending part there. So another Friday it is actually coming. So it does that 2 times there as a part of that. Yes, so we have seen so many small commands, uh, right? So no issue there as a part of it. NL is there and all that. So there is another interesting command called WC, word count. It gives you a statistics of a particular file contents. For example, word count of week.txt. So it gives you a statistics. So what is these numbers, magic numbers, what you see there? There are 7 lines in this particular file. 7 lines. And there are 7 words in this. And there are 57 characters in this particular file, week.txt. 7 lines, 7 words, and 57 this thing. So whereas you want to see a statistics of all the files that you have, you can always give WC followed by star, right? Then it's going to give you against the month now. There are 12 lines in the month.txt, 12 words, 86 characters, right? The total like this. So you can give a number of files to the word count, and that gives you a statistics of all of them. In fact, the actual size of the file month.txt is 86 bytes. That you can get to know by using ls minus l also, right? When you give ls minus l, you will get to know the size of the corresponding file. So when you don't specify anything to ls minus l, it gives you all the files in the present directory. So you can see now month.txt, the size of that is 86. And here also you have 86 characters and 86 bytes, 57 characters and 56 bytes. So like this, word count will help you to analyze like how many lines are there, how many words are there, and all that. So for example, you want to know word count of the message kind of thing, what we have stored, which is there in the previous folder. Right now we are in the network programming folder, NP folder. So when you use dot dot, it goes to the parent directory of the current thread. What is the parent directory of that particular thing? As you can see, when you give pwd, it is giving under the root home and under home tsr, under tsr np. So now you want to get to know what is the statistics, how many characters and all that are there. When you give a dot dot, meaning that the parent directory of the current directory. So right now you are inside NP. When you give dot dot, it goes to the parent of NP, which is nothing but TSR. So in the TSR folder, we have created a message like a file called welcome.txt just now, whatever the corresponding thing and all. So now against this, you can see here, there are actually 16 lines altogether, but 83 words. Because there are some lines where you have multiple words. In week and month, what we have created, we have stored only one word in one line. That's why number of lines and number of words in month and week are the same. Whereas in welcome here, there are lines where you have multiple words. So 83 words are there altogether, 16 lines are there, 482 characters is the actual size of that particular. When you give ls here, minus l and all that, you will get to know. You should not give like this, as you can see. It's failing. There is no command like ls minus l. The command and options and the arguments, they should be separated by spaces. right? You should not type in this particular manner. So there should be a space here between the command and the options. Then it understands ls is the command. Otherwise, it's looking for ls minus l as a command, and there is no such thing. Now it's saying 482 is the size of the corresponding file. 482 characters here. So same thing. Both are going to match with one another there as a part of that. So this is about what it is. Word count. Word count is there as a part of it. Any questions so far?
Sir, if we want
ఏదో బ్రేక్ అవుతుంది మీ వాయిస్ మళ్ళీ.
అంటే 2 టైమ్స్ కావాలంటే మనం వీక్ డాట్ టెస్ట్ ని 2 టైమ్స్ రాస్తాం. అదే మనకి n నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ టైమ్స్ కావాలంటే వాట్ వి విల్ టైప్ సార్? సార్ 2 టైమ్స్ కావాలంటే మనం వీక్ డాట్ టెస్ట్ ని 2 టైమ్స్ రాస్తాము.
ఇప్పుడు చెప్పమ్మా, ఇందాక వినిపించలేదు.
We want 2 టైమ్స్ అండ్ 2 టైమ్స్ కావాలంటే వీక్ డాట్ టెస్ట్ ని 2 టైమ్స్ రాస్తాం కదా సార్. మరి ఒకవేళ n నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ టైమ్స్ కావాలంటే
ఏమి నెంబర్స్ ఏం కావాలి మీకు?
అంటే ఇప్పుడు 100 టైమ్స్ కావాలి.
ఏం కావాలి నాకు అర్థం కాక అడుగుతున్నా అంటే మళ్ళీ ఇంకో రకంగా అడగాలి.
అంటే సార్ ఇప్పుడు ఆ మండే ట్యూస్డే 2 సార్లు రిపీట్ కావాలంటే మనం వీక్ డాట్ టెస్ట్ ని 2 సార్లు రాస్తాం. అదే ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ మనకి 100 టైమ్స్ కావాలంటే ఏం నొక్కాలి?
చేద్దాం అది చేయొచ్చు. కానీ అది జనరల్ ఎక్కడ అవసరం వస్తుంది నీకు?
అంటే ఊరికే సార్
తప్పేం లేదు, ఊరికే కూడా అడగచ్చు. నథింగ్ రాంగ్ ఇన్ దాట్. బట్ ఈజ్ దేర్ ఎనీ యూటిలిటీ అన్నది కూడా క్వశ్చన్ అనమాట బేసిక్గా. సో దట్స్ వేర్ ద ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ విల్ కమ్ ఇన్ టు పిక్చర్. ఇప్పుడు కమాండ్ యాజ్ ఇట్ ఈజ్ అలా సరిపోదు. సో మనం ఏంటి ఇప్పుడు యూ రిక్వైర్ నౌ, ఇప్పుడు ఈ కమాండ్ ద్వారా ఒకసారి డిస్ప్లే చేయొచ్చు అనుకున్నాం. మనకేం కావాలి? ఎప్పుడైనా ఏదైనా 4-5 సార్లు చేయాలంటే కంట్రోల్ స్ట్రక్చర్స్ కావాలి. ప్రోగ్రామింగ్లో కంట్రోల్ స్ట్రక్చర్స్ విల్ హెల్ప్ యూ టు రన్ ద సేమ్ థింగ్ ఆర్ డూ ద సేమ్ థింగ్ సెవరల్ టైమ్స్. ఒక లూప్ లాంటిది ఏదో ఉందనుకో, దెన్ ఇట్స్ పాసిబుల్. నంబర్ 1. లేదు ఏదైనా ఒకదాన్ని కండిషనల్గా చేయాలంటే అక్కడ కండిషనల్ కంట్రోల్ స్ట్రక్చర్స్ ఉంటాయి, వాటిని వాడి చేసుకోవచ్చు. నంబర్ 1. లేదంటే మనం వీ హ్యావ్ టు టైప్ ఇట్ టు బిగిన్ విత్, రైట్? సో మనం ఇందాక ఇచ్చినట్టే 2-3 టైమ్స్ ఇచ్చుకోవాల్సి ఉంటుంది. సో ఇప్పుడు మీకు కావాలంటే ఇప్పుడు 4-5 సార్లు కావాలనుకో, మనకి ఫర్ లూప్స్ ఉన్నాయి ఇక్కడ. సరే, ఇప్పుడే కంప్లీట్ చేస్తే అయిపోతుంది మీ డౌట్ తోటి. సో నార్మల్గా ఇట్స్ నాట్ దట్ రెలవెంట్. ఇక్కడ ఈ కాంటెక్స్ట్లో ఆ క్వశ్చన్ స్ట్రిక్ట్లీ స్పీకింగ్ అంత కరెక్ట్ కాదు, బట్ స్టిల్ ఎనీహౌ. సో ఏదో అడిగావు కాబట్టి, సో నా ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ 5 సార్లు కావాలి మనకి. సో వీ కెన్ సే ఫర్ i = 1 semicolon i less than, right, or equal to 5 semicolon i plus plus, like this. So ఇది ఇచ్చిన తర్వాత మనము do and all that kind of stuff is there actually. So we have do, and then మనకి ఏం కావాలి? you want to display కదా కావాల్సింది. you want to display అంటే cat followed by ఏది కావాలంటే అది, మేబీ వీక్, హెవీ. ఇది ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ అంటాం బేసిక్గా. సో జస్ట్ పే అటెన్షన్. యు ఆర్ పుట్టింగ్ దట్ కమాండ్ ఇన్సైడ్ ఏ ఫర్ లూప్. సో ఎన్నిసార్లు కావాలంటే అన్నిసార్లు అది ఇట్స్ గోయింగ్ టు డూ దట్. సో ఇప్పుడు మళ్ళీ కావాలంటే రిపీట్ చేయొచ్చు. ఇప్పుడు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇక్కడ మనం పైప్ ఇట్ టు లెస్, అది చాలా ఫాస్ట్గా వెళ్ళిపోయింది కాబట్టి. సో లైక్ దిస్, కొంచెం సింటాక్స్ వేరేగా ఉంటుంది స్లైట్గా. ఆల్వేస్ రిమెంబర్, ఇట్స్ నాట్ సి లాంగ్వేజ్ ఎవ్రీవేర్. So when you are learning something new, you have to learn the syntax and semantics of that particular new subject or new topic. Already తెలిసిందే రాస్తూ ఉంటే ఉపయోగం ఉంటుంది. సో సి లాంగ్వేజ్ లేనప్పుడు సి లాంగ్వేజ్ సింటాక్స్ సెమాంటిక్స్ వాడాలి. Right now you are under shell program. So shell దగ్గర shell syntax ఉంటుంది. So this is how it is going to be. As you can see, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and so on up to Friday. మళ్ళీ మండే వస్తాం. సో అది మళ్ళీ ఇలా 5 సార్లు నడిపిస్తాం. So anyhow, so this is totally different. We will come to that a little later. Shell programming and all that. This is where the programming will help you. Right. Any other questions?
No, sir.
So essentially, otherwise, 2-3 సార్లు కావాలంటే అక్కడే మనం టైప్ చేసుకోవాల్సి ఉంటుంది బేసికలీ. లేదంటే there are several ways in fact. అంటే దట్స్ వేర్ ద నాలెడ్జ్ ఈజ్ రిక్వైర్డ్ అంటారు. ఇప్పుడు మీకు విఐ అనేది కనుక ఎడిటర్ కనుక వస్తే విఐ, దెన్ ఇట్ బికమ్స్ సో సింపుల్ ఇన్ ఫ్యాక్ట్. సో దెర్ ఈస్ ఎన్ ఎడిటర్ కాల్డ్ విఐ ఇన్ లినక్స్ ఆర్ యూనిక్స్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్స్. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ విఐ ఫాలోడ్ బై సమ్ ఏదైనా ఒక లెట్ us say సంథింగ్ లైక్ వీక్ 5 times చేయాలనుకుంటున్నాం కదా. సో W5 అన్నా ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, W5.sh. So .sh means it is a shell script. So file name .sh. So ikkada manam em cheyachante, so you just simply type cat, for example, cat followed by. Now you want to have like as you said, week 5 times cover. మన ఇక్కడ there is a wonderful feature in editor, like మనకి entry all a number type చేయాలి. Right now I am typing 5 in fact, so that doesn't display there actually. And type I, insert, it stands for, and after that when you give week.txt, so దాని తర్వాత స్పేస్ ఇచ్చి ఇప్పుడు మనం ఎస్కేప్ కొడితే, so it's going to automatically generate. The editor will generate automatically how many times you want. So this is another way. దీన్ని డైరెక్ట్గా సేవ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు మనం కావాలంటే. సో whatever that you would like to save it, right? This is the editor feature. So w5.sh is there as a part of that. So how do you run this particular thing? Just simply say sh, right? And then w5.sh. సో మనం ఏవైతే ఇక్కడ కమాండ్స్ టైప్ చేస్తున్నాం ఆ కమాండ్స్ని ఫైల్లో పెట్టేసి ఆ ఫైల్ని ఎస్హెచ్కి ఇస్తే ఇట్స్ గోయింగ్ టు రన్ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ దెమ్. అక్కడ ఆల్రెడీ మనం క్యాట్ అని 5 times ఉంది కాబట్టి, సో దీని అవుట్పుట్ని మనం అగైన్ యూ వాంట్ టు పైప్ ఇట్ త్రూ లెస్ సో దట్ ఇట్ డజంట్ యాక్చువల్లీ రన్ ఫాస్ట్. సో యూ సే సింప్లీ Monday, Tuesday, and again Monday, Tuesday, and again like this. So the question is, if you enhance your knowledge, then there will be multiple solutions to the same problem. Your vision, like your approach to solve a problem, because you don't have a single solution now. So you can attack it under like in different directions. But as ravalante konta meru, you should exercise reading. You have to read books. You have to practice on systems. Then like you can offer multiple solutions. So this is another way. So VI editor చాలా పవర్ఫుల్ యాక్చువల్గా. సో జస్ట్ VI మీదే మీకు కనీసం 2-3 రోజులు ఫుల్ క్లాస్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. బట్ ఐ డోంట్ వాంట్ టు వేస్ట్ మై టైమ్ అన్లెస్ దెర్ ఈస్ సమ్ రియల్ జెన్యూన్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఆన్ దోస్ థింగ్, వీ కెన్ గో ఇన్ టు దాట్. బట్ మనకి సిలబస్లో అవంత ఇంపార్టెన్స్ లేదు, VI editor and all that, but it's a very powerful one. Anyhow, so slowly now you are seeing the flavor of those things, Linux and all that. Okay, so I think this is okay now. Like now that let's move on. Word count is one thing that we have seen as it is, right? So one thing is there as a part of it. So you want to sometimes search for something. You want to search for a particular file. A file lo edo undali. Probably that file contains your name there. That particular file you are interested in, all that, right? You want to display all the lines. Essentially, this grep is a command. It's the name of a command, grep. It is a general regular expression pattern, right? So using by giving a pattern, you can search in a file and display all all the lines that contain that particular pattern. Pattern ante a text laantadu anukondi. A similar pattern unde all the lines you want to see. So for example, you want to display all the lines that contain BR in the month file, right? So what is the syntax of grep now? After grep, you have to give first the pattern. Grep is a command. After grep command, you have to give the pattern. Pattern in our case is BER. And after that, the file name. Any number of file names can be given later on. So what is the meaning of this? It searches for this pattern in the first file and displays all the lines that contain that pattern. And also searches for the same pattern in the next file if at all it is there. And all that particular destiny. So when you give like this, as you can see, it is displaying the lines in the month.txt that contain BER. Anywhere, not necessarily in the end or beginning and all that particular thing. Wherever it is going to, and in this particular case, it is also highlighting in a colored manner where it is actually matching, whatever the kind of thing. For example, you are not interested in just bar and all that. You can give, in fact, now week also, right? 2 files, and then see what is going to happen. But now, like it may give you more lines and all that. So let us use pipe it to less. Right? This is a general thing what we will be using. Now, if you see, it is displaying month.txt February, month.txt September, B, the letter B, November, December, October. All of them happens to be month only. You don't have in week B అనేది రాదా, February and all that. Somehow week lo లేదు. So let us, week లో ఏమున్నాయి మనకి వీక్స్? సండే, మండే, ట్యూస్డే కదా. సో డి లెటర్ ఇస్తే కొంచెం ఎక్కడైనా ఎక్కువ వస్తాయి. బట్ డి ఈజ్ నాట్ దేర్ ఇన్ నన్ ఆఫ్ ది, బట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ కేస్ సెన్సిటివ్. ఇఫ్ యూ జస్ట్ పే అటెన్షన్ టు దిస్, డిసెంబర్లో డి ఉంది కదా, బట్ యు ఆర్ నాట్ గెటింగ్ డి బికాస్ you are looking for small d. If you are looking for capital D, then yes, probably you are likely to get that. But in that case, only December you are getting it. But now you are not interested in the case and all that. You want to display either small d or capital D, both should be displayed. For that, you have the options now. You have the options in this thing. When you give -I for the grep command, it is insensitive to the cases. That means either small d or capital D, it should match. Right? So that is our interest. Now, when you give like this, it is saying in the month you have December, in the weeks you have all these things. Right? So like this, every command, remember, will have so many options using which you can get the other power, other ways of using the same command there and all. In case insensitive, right? You are looking for that particular thing. Not only a single letter or a word, any of them you can actually look for. So grep is a command that is used to search for a pattern in a file and display all the lines that contain that particular pattern. And you can give multiple file names, and it also displays the file name along with that particular thing. There is like, you can also display the line number and all that, where it is available and all that. I don't know. There is one of the options there, probably. You can see there now. It is also saying that it is there in the line number 10. Month.txt, line number 10 contains December. Whereas week.txt, corresponding things are these things. So like this, there are so many options that you can use. N means to display the line number. I means case insensitive. So, and several other things. It is like not possible to cover all the options in a class. And that's not the better way also. Because remember, all of you can enhance your knowledge only with your attention. You have to pay attention while learning. So that happens when you start learning on your own, when you have right kind of passion and you have time there and start reading and start applying all that and so on like that. So grep is an interesting command. Grep has got two more things, in fact. Like F grep is there and E grep is there. Try to look for those things also as a part of it. So that is about grep and all that. Uh, Let me just go through like what is there in the what is there in the welcome message. Welcome message cat. This is the one, but there are so many other things and all that. Okay. This is the contents of the uh, welcome message and all that. The letter T, for example, letter T is there in the beginning, TSR, and letter T also is there in what and all that, like that. So if you want to search, for example, you want to search for the letter T, right? Grep is there. You can search for something at the beginning of every line or at the end of the line. That kind of stuff also is there. So if you want to search for something at the beginning, not somewhere in the middle, then there is something called this caret symbol. The character that occurs on digit number 6. This caret means line beginning, at the beginning. Letter T. You are looking for letter T. It's not control T. It is at the beginning of this thing. Now, what is that you want to? This is a like case insensitive also you want to have, so that small t or capital T both should actually give insensitive, and probably you want to display the line number also. You can give line. Now, what is the meaning of this? You search for letter T at the beginning in the file welcome.txt is the parent directory, right? This is what you really mean by, and display all the lines that contain T at the beginning. T at the beginning. When you give like this, as you can see, there are only 2 lines that match this. This is a practical course. So because it's starting with T, it is displaying that, and TSR is that. So there may be T somewhere else. So if you remove that caret symbol here, then you will get some more things. You will get some more lines. See there, 10th line, 11th line, 12th line, 14th line, and all that. So the pattern in this particular manner also you can actually give. For example, you want to display all the lines that contain R dot, right? At the end you want. At the end you want means what? So you can actually give dollar. Dollar stands for the end of the line, right? In the grep and all that, many other places. For example, you want to display all the lines that end with R dot, right? So end with means dollar. So you'll have to specify the pattern followed by a dollar, meaning that it will look for all the lines that contain R dot at the end of the line. So when you give like this, so how many things? You have got 2 lines. So it is actually, but TSR dot is not there as a part of it. Dot as it is you want. So in which case dot stands for actually any character. There is another special meaning of that particular thing. So that's why you will have to specify here dot as a character. You'll have to this thing. So even now you are going to get it. I know that. But you pay attention here. So when you give like this, so now it is actually displaying only 1. See, this is a slightly involved one. Probably I will pay attention to that a little later also. This is a reverse slash is a meta character to actually send the character as it is. See, there are certain characters have special meanings. Certain characters have special meanings. So dot has got a special meaning in the grep context actually. Dot is going to match with any character. It's going to match with any character actually. whereas you want to match with a dot itself. So whenever you want to match with a dot, you have to send a reverse slash also to that particular thing. Right? So one reverse slash is okay. Reverse slash dot. So whereas the shell also has got the same feature. You can escape by using the reverse slash. So when you give reverse slash dot in the shell context, it actually sends only a single dot. A dot as it is, it's going to send. Whereas when you send reverse slash to the shell when you are giving reverse slash means it's going to send only a single reverse slash. So at the end of it, grep is going to see reverse slash dot. So that only that particular thing is going to be what it is displayed there as a part of it and so on. See, there are three variants. Just now, like here, you can see or reverse slash dot is matching both this 8th line as well as 15th line. 15th line, you don't have any dot there, right? Because this or reverse slash dot is equivalent to r dot only. Is equivalent to r dot only. And dot means in grep, it matches with any character. It matches with any character. Whereas you want to match with only a dot. So that's why you are actually escaping by using two reverse slashes. We'll spend some more time on this particular thing in the next class. But start acquiring the material and all that. Start reading so that you can appreciate the classes. Today we will stop at this stage, probably, and we'll meet again on Thursday. Today, if you have any specific questions, we can. Otherwise, we can close the session. Any questions now? Okay, so you have like this for a grep. Line beginning is caret, line ending is dollar, and dot has got a special meaning, right? So all those related stuff, we will just be learning something more as we come along. So Thursday we'll meet again. But today, let me stop the recording slowly. ఇప్పుడు ఇంకా ఏం అడ్మిషన్ ఆర్టిషన్ డే ఏంటి ప్రాబ్లం? I have already given like if your email ID is wrong, probably it's going to ask me again, right? So if your mail IDs are wrongly given, please make necessary changes. Stop recording this. Stop recording.